Hey, welcome back. It's another 2-Minute Tuesday from the bank. We're going to get 2 minutes on the clock, get this done. In the last video, we looked at base mixes, and we're going to just continue the base mix journey on this particular video. And as I've already said in the last video, and if you've not seen it, you can go to our YouTube page, Nutrabaits TV, and you can check out the 2-Minute Tuesday playlist, and in there you'll find the last 2-Minute Tuesday that we did on the base mixes, which was Trigger, Trigger Ice and BFM. 3 of the most iconic base mixes ever designed for carp in the history of carp baits. Big statement, pretty much an accurate one. On this particular video, we're going to look at the rest of the range, and we're going to do this fast. The first 2 we're going to look at are kind of brothers, sisters, whatever way you want to call it. They are Enovite Gold and Enovite. Enovite Gold is probably by far the most popular of the base mixes. These are both bird food style base mixes, and they are high energy base mixes full of minerals, vitamins and nutrients that carp really need. Bird foods are very much a forgotten hero in the world of fish meal baits. And in fact, come the cooler months, most of the team will switch over to one of these base mixes and knock up baits themselves for their own winter fishing, because bird foods, being a little bit more porous, they're great for short session fishing. That coarseness allows all the attractors pump out into the water column and gets a much more responsive feeding response in colder temperatures. That said, they're an all year round bait, catch you plenty of fish. Enovite is a more of a spicy mix. Enovite Gold is a little bit more creamy, a little bit softer. Enovite has a number of ingredients, including robin red, PTX, mixed spices, liver powder, CLO, whey protein, soya flour, cajola powder and vitamins and minerals. Enovite Gold has red factor, PTX, CLO, whey protein, soya flour, maize meal, vitamins and minerals. So as you can see with the Enovite Gold, it's just got a little bit of a softer note to it, whereas the Enovite itself is a little bit more spicier. So it will suit many of the spicy ingredients that we associate with winter fishing. 50-50 mix. It really is a very basic mix. I mean, this mix is basically a protein and carbohydrate base mix, including the things like yellow semolina, finely ground down maize meal and full fat soya flour. It's one of those things that if you don't really want to spend a huge amount on a base mix and you want something that you can use in good quantity on a tight budget, then this is going to be the thing for you. You can't equate this with the premium range of base mixes such as Trigger, Big Fish Mix, Trigger Ice. Also the bird food ranges, the Enovite and the Enovite Gold. This is just a pure out and out attractor base mix. High levels of flavour, high levels of attractors added into this, and you're looking to nick bites rather than build up a swim full of bait with this stuff. It's a really good solid base mix that's cheap, isn't going to break the bank, and will definitely catch you fish with the right ingredients added to it. The last base mix we're going to look at in our range is the High Nouvelle base mix. This is a pure unadulterated milk protein bait. Milk proteins in the 70s, 80s and 90s, a lot of work went into it. And it was found that carp were really triggered by the ranges of milk proteins. So whether they are your caseins, your lactalbumins, it just seemed to really stimulate the carp. And in fact, studies have gone on to show that milk proteins have a slightly opiate-like quality to them with regards to carp, in that it stimulates them to such an extent that they get really triggered and really wired into it, and it becomes nearly addictive to them. One thing that really stood out in all those years of testing High Nouvelle and using it was that it had an uncanny ability to nick the best fish in the lake. Big fish seemed to be really switched onto it, and it became known as a bait that if you wanted to sort of single out certain target fish, then this is the stuff you'd go in with. Now, I'd always recommend to go in with very low flavors and very low essential oils, and I'd let the base mix do all the talking. High Nouvelle is made up with a number of ingredients. You have rennet casein, acid casein, sodium caseinate, egg albumin, lactalbumin, wheaten flour, vitamins, minerals, sodium bicarbonate. It has all the ingredients that will make the best, highest protein milk protein bait on the market. It's a very much a forgotten bait because, you know, fish meals took over to an extent, bird foods took over. People tended to forget about the milk proteins, but this has actually year on year been selling more and more for Nutrabaits over the last number of years. Milk proteins are the holy grail in carp fishing. In this particular bait are soluble proteins and insoluble proteins. Obviously you have to have the balance right so that you don't have the bait turning to mush very quickly, but the more solubility you have in a bait, the better the bait will be for the carp. And this is the king of solubility with 3 amino acids in the water. It's an incredible base mix. It's not one that rips off our shelves, but it's certainly one of the best base mixes money can buy. Milk proteins by their very nature are super expensive to buy in, and that's why this is such an expensive base mix to purchase. So if you want to win this bag of High Nouvelle, all you got to do is the usual. You've got to like this video, share it to your wall on Facebook, and tag a mate in the comments. Simple as share, like, tag. Job done. And a bag of High Nouvelle will be ringing its way to the winner. May the best carper win, and I'm going to see you in the next 2 Minute Tuesday.